My adventures began when I arrived in Modesto in September. The first job was to get all packed. On September 27th, we hopped on our plane. Here I am on the plane in my sleeping bag. After about 40 hours, we arrived in Cairns, Australia, to this beautiful view from our hotel room. I was pretty tired out, so I was anxious to get to bed. In the morning, I had a hearty breakfast. Our first stop was the Hartley Crocodile and Wildlife Park.
Get right into where they want to be. These are the supreme ambush predators. The only other animal that comes close to them is sharks. Nothing on land comes anywhere near crocodiles in their ability as an ambush predator. There are some snakes, in smaller scales.
Get ready, guys, because this will be a good chance for a photo. Right about. I'll do her a couple of times, and I'll have to reward her. Come up inside it. There we go.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Another few lap.
Oh wow!
That noise is simply 3,000 pound or plus of jaw pressure coming together. There is nothing on the face of the earth that has a stronger bite than a saltwater crocodile. One more time, and I'm going to let her have it.
Wow!
Keep an eye on it there. See how she's lifted her head to swallow her food?
Yeah.
They can't swallow food under the water. They can grab stuff underwater. They can't swallow it underwater.
After the crocodiles, we visited the koalas. Isn't he cute?
They had to give them up. Hygiene's critical. They are very, very complex animals to keep in zoos. Very, 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 very labour intensive. The wild population is declining rapidly through habitat loss, habitat fragmentation, disease, and the nature of the landscape has changed.
Next, we spent time with the kangaroos.
It's about as far north as they get, all the way down to the east coast of Australia, down to the southeast corner. These are the second biggest species of kangaroo. These are females. The males are a lot bigger, nearly twice the size of that. And the really big kangaroos
seem hungry. Are these eating over here?
No.
And the big one right there. They're designed to utilise very low nutrient levels. Kangaroos like that. They move around at night. They don't sweat. They want to cool themselves. They lift their forearms, and the blood vessels in the forearms cool. And big ears to radiate heat. Very, very heat efficient animals. So sooner or later there will be a drought, and the mother kangaroo has to look after number one. The old Joey that's ready to go is thrown. When the rains come again and the food comes back up, everything moves back into place. The embryo develops immediately, and the whole process starts again. So kangaroos can recover their numbers extremely quickly, far faster than introduced farm animals, cattle and sheep.
That evening, we went to the Weatherby Station Cattle Ranch. This is a special breed of cattle that can handle the hot and humid weather there. These are my new friends. After dinner, we sang and danced. The next day, we hopped on a boat to the Great Barrier Reef. Some of us used to scuba do so we could go underwater and see the fish and the coral. Here's some of the pretty fish that I saw. On Saturday, we visited the Aboriginal Cultural Park.
camp. Tonight we'll light a fire. Tonight we'll put on a cornbread.
We always have to visit the gift shop before we leave. Next, I got to ride on a Skyrail gondola through the rainforest. We saw this beautiful waterfall. The next day, we hopped on a plane and went to Sydney. One of my favorite activities was the Sydney Harbour Cruise.
This is Garden Island. We're just going slow because the Navy's ahead of us. Can't say anything. And they weren't fed and they weren't very happy. The island was called Pinch Go. They joke that it stole your stomach or pinched your gut. It became a fort, and I'll talk about that on the way back. If you'd like to see the frigate, she's on our left. You are allowed to take photos. You won't be arrested.
See the opera house in the background? Here I am in an old phone booth in the old part of town. While in the harbor, we were entertained by more didgeridoo music. The people of Sydney decorated many of their statues. See my uncles? We also enjoyed fun street music. Yes, it was time to hop on the plane again, this time to Christchurch, New Zealand. I really enjoyed my banana breakfast on the plane. Our first stop was the International Antarctic Center. Here we saw cute little blue penguins. They are really good swimmers. Lunchtime, they eat little fish. Like many of the travelers, I caught a little cold. So I stayed in the next day and worked on the blog. On Saturday, we took a long bus ride to Queenstown, New Zealand. We took several comfort stops. I found some of my favorite treats. Bonnie liked the cabbage. I was very relieved they allowed monkeys. The next day, we had a fun boat ride to Walter Peak Sheep Station. Once there, we saw a dog working the sheep and a sheep getting sheared.